Vanessa Goodman, International Dance Day, with a difference?
Next year, hopefully you'll be seeing Petra, Zanki, and Benoît, Pioulard, Loscil, and myself all together, which was this year's proposition that was going to be the collaboration.
We look forward to being able to talk to all four of you, hopefully about that in the coming months and definitely in time for next year.
Loscil, who is Scott Morgan, and I have been collaborating for the last 5 years together. And he actually, like, the first time we worked together, he saw a piece that I had made and he had offered to make an original piece of music for it, which I didn't have at the time. I had been a long time listener of his incredible music for the last decade. So I was like so thrilled to have this introduction to actually work with him. And we had collaborated a couple more times throughout 2015 and 2016. And then he was releasing an album, Monument Builders, and he asked me if I would dance in one of the videos that he was going to release to be the launch of the album. And I was thrilled and I said yes. But so Scott sent me the piece of music before the album was released, and we talked about, so really this was a project that was instigated on his side and was his vision. And we talked about what he was inspired by. Norman McLaren Parada video. And so he sent me that video and he said, I really like this video, and I'm interested in it aesthetically, not necessarily applying the same techniques, but I'm interested in the visuals of it, how it's black and white. And Scott often works with black and white, and he creates incredible visuals to go with his music when he performs. There's often incredible video that accompanies his work. So it's really an audio visual experience. So he sent me that video and he sent me the track, and I went into the studio and I worked on material for it. And we booked time at the Shadbolt. I was lucky enough to have a residency at the Shadbolt around that time. Scott came in with a couple of different cameras, and I think we shot the video about 16 times. Like, I ran the piece about 16 times that day. And we did a number of different takes from a number of different angles. And then Scott went away and with all the footage, and he got the idea to hand scratch vintage film, which is that texture. Yeah. And he overlaid that and he edited it to create the video for Drained Lake. And then it was released, I think just before his album was released, as kind of like a teaser to go out to all the press release and stuff like that. So that's just one of the collaborations that we've been fortunate enough to do together. And sometimes they're really kind of like quick, like that one was kind of a quick little process. And then other times our processes are much more in depth and they take many more years where, here's an idea, we're going to work on this. We build material together. He comes in with a bit of material. I come in with a bit of material. We get into a theater setting together and we start experimenting to develop conceptually. But this idea really came from him in terms of the aesthetics. And he knew that he wanted me to be in white because he wanted the high contrast, like the Norman McLaren video. He's got quite an interesting and unique perspective of timing and shifts and where he feels like the energetic shifts lie inside the music, that it was really nice to have him almost in a lot of sense, him choreograph it.
To a certain degree, in terms of the audio-visual relationship, right?
Yeah, in terms of how the work was going to be seen, right? It was really, which was quite a thrill for me inside that, to see what the choices are.
Was it titled after or before? Or
no, Scott chose the title. It was the title of the track for the album. So it's very much linked to his album and the track for the album. I think a lot of my relationship to Scott's work is I have a very physical, visceral reaction to the sound he offers. And for me, I find it so generative that whatever state sonically he's proposing, I find it super, they're super easy to drop into that, like
Nice.
into the mood of what he's proposing.
Yeah.
So I think a lot for me comes actually from the sound, and as an impulse, or as the backbone of my relationship to his work. And there is a poetic to the title and our relationship to water, and that's something I'm also very interested in. He's got a long-standing practice of working with water and visuals of land masses and water, and so for me it felt like kind of a seamless thread of things that we had been talking about or working on together, but then also things that I know he's been working on for years. Happy International Dance Day.